everybody, and welcome to Alicia Dianne Art. I'm Alicia Dianne, and thank you for joining me. I'm in my room today. It's kind of a wacky day, but we are continuing in our book club review. This is Steal Like an Artist, and so with this one, we read points 3 and 4. I'm just gonna get cozy. So let's see, what is point 3? Point 3 was that one is point 2. Point 3 was write the book you want to read. So write the book you want to read, and it crosses out write what you know, and it crosses out no, and it puts like instead. So the idea is that you don't just want to make something that you know. You want to put something that you think is going to be fun and it's going to be entertaining for people. So I think that this goes not just along with writing, but also creating what you like, not just creating what you know. So you want to make sure that whatever it is that you're creating is going to be something fun that people are going to want to be interested in. People want to go see it. People are going to want to look at it, and all of those things. Okay, it says, let's see, there's a quote here from Brian Eno, something like that. It says, my interest in making music has been to create something that does not exist, that I would like to listen to. I want to hear music that had not yet happened by putting together things that suggested a new thing which did not yet exist. It made sense when I highlighted it, but now it kind of doesn't. But oh well. Anyway, I highlighted a couple more things about this point. It says, we make art because we like art. We're drawn to a certain kinds of work because we're inspired by people doing that work. All fiction is in fact fan fiction, and I really like that because he gave an example right at the beginning of the book about him writing a fan fiction when he was about 10 years old of Jurassic Park 2 and what that would be like, and I thought that was pretty fun. So I like the fact that he says all fiction is fan fiction, because in a way it is. Like, if you think about things that we make, and when we make things that we like, it's like we're getting inspired by things around us, and we're pulling that together. So like, if I like a certain type of scene, I think what is that director's name? He's a very famous director, but I can't think of his name. Anyway, he did Kill Bill. I don't know why I can't remember. Why am I not? Anyway, I know that I remember like hearing his story and like how he started making movies, and he didn't go to film school. He actually worked in like a movie, like a Blockbuster type of store, like a video store for like many years, and he like watched the movies and everything. He just made movies that he wanted to see, and so that was how he got started. So it's kind of saying the same thing. You want to make the things that you want to consume, which makes a lot of sense, because we're making it. If you don't have anyone in mind, then it's gonna like, well, who's gonna watch it or listen to it or look at it, whatever. The best advice is not to write what you know, it's to write what you like. Write the kinds of stories you like best. Write the story you want to read. So that all made sense. And I highlighted this whole page. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll read the part that most stood out to me. It said, think about your favorite work of your creative heroes. What did they miss? What didn't they make? What could they have made better? If they were still alive, what would they be making today? So immediately when I thought of this, I thought about two people, Walt Disney and Jim Henson. Like, those are like two people that I just love their minds, and I just love this type of work that they made. So I mean, automatically I thought about them and like how I would like remix something that they would do. All right, step 4. So chapter 3 or point 3 was really short, so we're already on 4, and it's use your hands, like your kinesthetics. So it's a step away from the screen. It says, cartoonist Linda Berry has this saying, in the digital age, don't forget to use your digits, which are your fingers. In case you didn't know. So in the digital age, don't forget to use your digits. And it says we need to move. We need to feel like we're making something with our bodies, not just our hands. And work that only comes from the head isn't any good. I get this. I feel like it makes sense to me. I mean, I do, when I think about it, I do both. And then when I use digital, I'm still using my pencil. So in a way, but I know I still use very traditional tools. I still paint. I still use watercolors and pencils and pens and inks and everything else. So I feel like it's always kind of been a part of me, but I can get how just using computers can be a disconnect. I remember there like the short little period of time where I tried to get into computer art, and it just went over my head. It wasn't for me. But even if you're a painter or digital painter, it can get consuming. It can it's easy to just stick to just digital. But I think what he's really trying to say is never forget like those traditional tools, and don't forget to like play in your work, like using the play, which I think makes sense. Since we need to move to feel like we're making something with our bodies, not just our heads. So I think that's also great for drawing on site, going places to draw, not just always, when you're working, yes, you have to stick in the same place, but sometimes just drawing for fun and going different places. It says, what, work that only comes from your head is, I already read that. Our nerves aren't a one-way street. Our bodies can tell our brains as much as our brains tell our bodies. I really like that. And it says, art that only comes from the head isn't any good. It has a little picture for that one. Okay, so let's see what else. It says, when I was in creative writing workshop in college, everything we did had to be double typed and in Times New Roman font, and my stuff was just terrible. Writing ceased to be fun for me. I don't know why when I'm reading this book, I always like, I don't know, whatever reason when I've been quoting this book, I've been writing all over my words. We've been trying to get to too much. I don't know. Anyway, it says, whatever the case is, writing ceased to be fun. And it's true. When I took like formal English classes, I hated writing. So it was a disconnect to me when I was, starting, going into like writing when I was in animation school, because I had already went to taken like a formal English class, and I thought it was going to be the same, and it wasn't. It's totally a different experience. And I think that's why too, sometimes when you might take a writing class, I know I took one online, and you just had to use a notebook and a pen just to write everything. I don't know where the camera is. I think it's there. I'm trying to look in the camera. Okay, now I see you. All right, so it just reminds you that writing, when things are too formalized and too robotic, they feel robotic, especially for artists. You don't want it to feel that way. You want it to feel like energy, live, fun. So it made a lot of sense for me when he said that. It says, for my first book, Newspaper Blackout, I tried to make the process as much of a hands-on experience as possible. Every poem that book has made with a newspaper article and a permanent marker. He talks about the sights, the smells, the feel, the scissors, the smell of the marker, all those things. And computer brings out uptight perfectionist in us. It says too easy to push the delete button, which is true, or the double tap. So I think it's true. It's good to sometimes just, and I do this, and it's so subconscious to me, because certain things I just like to write down and scribble, and sometimes I just like to use a notepad or post-it notes. But it does talk about, where does he say that? He says, take $10, go to the school supply at your local store, and pick up some paper, pens, sticky notes, and when you get back to your workstation, then just, I don't want to read the whole thing. When you get back, just scribble, cut it up, tape things, and put them together. Stand up while you're working, put things on the walls for patterns, spread things around your desk, and sort through them. So he's really inviting us to play with our work, make it an experience, so it doesn't just become robotic. He wants the creativity to flow. So I think the whole purpose of this chapter, and let me see, I'll read another thing. He does talk about having two parts to your office. I already have two, or your studio. I already have two parts of my studio, like the computer and the Cintiq, and then the other side I have my watercolors and markers and all that. So you should have two sides. I think I have three sides now, because I've taken over my husband's side where I keep my iPad. So it's kind of three right now, but it's okay. He's working at his job anyway. But it makes sense. I think that's the end. I think that's the last part. Yeah, that's it for this. But it did have some good points. These 2 points felt 3 and 4 felt super fast, but good. But good tips in there, good notes in there. So let me know what you guys thought about points 3 and 4 in Still Like an Artist. And until I see you next time, be grateful, live balance, and be yourself. And thank you for joining me.